10 o'clock.
Hello, hello, hello. Daniel, my British voice from my computer says it's 10 o'clock. So, hi, it must be time for a Saturday live stream. Hi, I'm Casey Durango of Go Keto with Casey, where I talk about how I lost 97.4 pounds after starting the ketogenic protocol, how you may be able to lose weight, improve your health, and regain control of your life like I did. Uh, if someone can let me know that you can see and hear me, um, it's it's uh, it's always a question. So, keeping with just an open format and a support group type of setting, we can share our stories, our challenges, our triumphs, our questions. You may ask me anything, and I will or won't answer. I mean, I'll respond. It just depends on what the question is. Oh, Kate. Hey, Kate Calla from. So now you're in Utah because you were in Alaska, right? Years ago, I remember. Good morning. Um, First of all, continue to send positive energy into the universe for our friends all up and down the southeast. From my state of North Carolina, the mountains, which have been really decimated by Helene, down through South Carolina, Georgia, Florida. I think 1 million people are still without power. Road things are inaccessible, and they haven't even got to the most remote places, still looking for people. So let's have a good thought, and let's count our blessings. I'm guessing if you're hearing my voice, you've had a much better week than the other people have. For those of you who are new to the format, hey, Jell's mommy, good morning. Hey to Luke from Jell's mommy is a Yooper, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And for those of you who are new or don't know anything about me, you are welcome to see a bit of my story and some photographs at my blog, link below. Did I put the links below? I did. And I don't have an agenda here, so we're just gonna chat. But I learned and have followed the ketogenic protocol for over 10 and a half years. I had given up on losing weight. I just didn't want to take insulin for type 2 diabetes. And I knew that was in my future. I had been obese and morbidly obese for 30 years, from my mid-20s to my mid-50s. And I just didn't want to take insulin for type 2 diabetes. Googled how to not take insulin for type 2 diabetes. Came across the white coat video of Dr. Eric Westman of Duke University. I never became a patient of his, but the message stuck to me. And because I'm the luckiest person you will ever meet, through happenstance, became acquainted with Dr. Westman. We've done some things together. He even referred to me as a colleague once, which I really appreciated. But the message was keep your carbohydrate intake to 20 grams or fewer a day. Total carbs, not net carbs. Net carbs is just more carbs. If it's not on page 4, link below, don't eat it, but you don't even need a food list. Fatty sources of protein, non-starchy vegetables in limited amounts, full-fat dairy in limited amounts. The vegetables and the dairy are not required. Don't eat if you're not hungry, the most challenging part. Stop eating when you've had enough, the second most challenging part. Be patient and persevere. So that's it. And most weeks when I do these live streams, I will have like a topic. But I just did a Q&A once, and several people said, I really like this. So what we're going to do. I do want to say, if you can subscribe and hit the bell notification, the bell icon for notifications, and the thumbs up or thumbs down if that's the way you're feeling. Apparently, I have kind of disappeared for some reason, my channel from YouTube. I've heard from several people saying, welcome back to YouTube. I've missed you. I didn't go anywhere. So there might be some gremlins in the YouTube algorithm. So thank you very much. It does help my channel. Now, having said that, I'm going to jump in and let's start our support group chat. And Deborah Barnes, good morning from Johnsonville, Tennessee. That's in the eastern part of Tennessee, correct? If I remember my Tennessee geography, I hope you're okay because eastern Tennessee got hit as well. Um, Deborah Barnes been around a while. Ruth Haney, good morning. Prayers for the victims of Helene. Absolutely. Nancy Bullock, donate to hurricane victims. I, as 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 off kilter as humanity can seem sometimes. When in my area, I'm in central North Carolina, so I'm about 2.5 hours away from the hardest hit places in Western North Carolina. In our area, there are people, private citizens, and this is in addition to churches and Red Cross and everything else, and the state, private citizens renting panel trucks, parking them in front of their house or in their driveway, and opening them up and say, whatever you can bring to donate, we will get it to a place, like drive it to Hickory or someplace like that, because lots of places are in Western North Carolina are only accessible by helicopter or plane at this point. So they're ferrying stuff, and it does make you feel good. So yes, indeed, but good energy if we can. Colleen Sproul, good morning. Good morning from mid-Michigan. Hello, everyone. And Cala, Utah. Yes, Ruth, prayers here too. In Cala, anyone here affected by the hurricane? I have lots of patrons. Oh, I have them all over the country. I have a private support group on patreon.com. Link below. Lots of folks in Florida. I have folks in every place that's been impacted by this hurricane. Sometimes it's Texas. So, I always worry about the folks. Amy Thies, good morning from Germany. Guten Tag. Jay Talbot, day out with hubby. Planning a lunch at Arby's. Delicious meat, no bun. We bring the meats. Deborah Barnes, nope. Nope, meaning no, Tennessee. Let me see, my thing is flickering at me. Okay, Cali, Utah. Sounds yummy. Good tender meat. And Deborah writes, Midwest Tennessee in Johnsonville. East Tennessee has Johnson City. Thank you. Happens all the time. So has anyone had any challenges? Just like catch up from the last week if you were here. I'm going to share my challenges. I can tell you in all sincerity that my challenges really don't have to do with food anymore. It's been a long time. It's even been a long time since it's been challenging for the don't eat if you're not hungry. I'm not perfect every day, but most days I've just gotten to that point. Food is often an afterthought with me now. It's because, why? Not because I'm, particularly disciplined. It's because if we came to eat out of habit, and that grew over, lengths of time of habitually eating, whether we're hungry or not, we can habitually not eat out of hunger. We can grow different habits. And that's kind of what I worked on. My personal couple of challenges are stick with my resistance training, which I had been very good at, and it paid off for me. So, of course, I stopped doing it. Duh. I mean, that's like the resistance training version of I was doing keto and it worked great for me. So I stopped doing it. Why? Stupid human trick. So my challenge is to stick with this. Some days I really don't want to. I'm not a gym rat. I'm not someone who really enjoys working out. Some people really do. It's like therapy. It clears their brain. So I'm struggling with that, but I am trying to tamp down anxiety, my own personal anxiety anxious over several things. Not anxious over food. I'm not anxious over my weight. I'm not anxious over my health, but I am a sentient human. And so I'm aware of things in the world. And some things, frankly, I tend to perseverate. So there'll be something and I kind of go, another big word, I catastrophize. Here, this happens, then that will, and that'll happen. And then I get all wrenched up about it. So I am working on that. And again, unlike years before, I don't turn to food for every emotion because, let's face it, those of us who have not had strong relationships with food, good relationships with food, every emotion is a reason to eat. Good emotion, bad emotion, anger, loneliness. And around Go Keto with Casey, we try to employ the BLAST method, BLAST, which is a ripoff of HALT method of 12-step programs. But don't make a decision about eating if you're bored, lonely, angry, stressed, or tired. The only reason you should make a decision about eating is if you're hungry. And so lots of us just spent years. Got something good going on? Yay, let's celebrate. Let's have some cake. You got something bad going on? Oh, great. Where's the ice cream? Revenge eating. You get mad at your partner. I'll show them. I'm going to order a pizza and eat it. That kind of thing. And also every occasion is a reason to eat. All the life's milestones. That I can say I don't struggle with. But I don't want to be an anxious person. I've always been an optimist, except pessimism started to fester in me, particularly before keto. I just felt bad. I felt physically bad. I felt mentally bad about myself. And I was looking forward to years of getting worse, feeling worse. So that was not an optimistic way to feel. But I'm by nature an optimistic person. Anxiety doesn't help with optimism. So I'm working on that. That's been my personal challenge. Kay Calla, Utah writes, well, if Casey can't get on, I'll go watch Dr. Westman's prescription strength keto. What? What do you mean I can't get on? Am I not here? Amy Thies, my round trip walk to the gym is 3 kilometers. I plan to get back with the habit of going daily, even if it is just to drink a coffee with my flatmate for drinks. Moving daily is a good habit, yes. It's, it really can blow the cobwebs out. Raquel Lewis, good morning from Texas. Nancy Bullock, thanks for adding to my vocabulary. I always wanted my children, when they had children, we have 2 granddaughters. They say, what do you want the baby to call you, Mom? I say, how about grammar? Because I like grammar and words. And I hope to be well-spoken. Good plan, Amy, writes Kay Calla. I'm sorry. Hold, please. What's going on? Okay, I don't know. My producer, also known as my lovely mate, is making hand gestures towards me. Colleen Sproul, ruminating is a challenge. I'm a ruminator. I'm good at it too. Totally understand. Yeah, come on. Bleh. So I'm trying to employ some tools for that. One of them, believe it or not, because of our parasympathetic nervous system, is to breathe slowly. Inhale and exhale. And you think, well, that sounds kind of cheesy. That's got to be a gimmick. No, it's absolutely. Your parasympathetic nervous system will do things. Your heart racing, breathing shallowly and rapidly, is if your main nervous system senses you have a problem. Something's on fire and you're close to it. You're being chased by a lion. So, but if you reverse engineer it and breathe slowly, your parasympathetic nervous system tells the rest of you, hey, you can't be in that big a problem, because if there was really a problem, you wouldn't be able to breathe so slowly. So I work on that. And I also just try to give myself some cognitive therapy. Remind myself, I have felt anxious like this. I've worried about this thing a lot, and my worrying about it changed to nothing. And, I have my green book. By the way, you do not have to buy one thing to be 100% successful at this. But I will sell you a green book all day long. Let me see if I can find the quote. It was from His Holiness, the 14th Dalai Lama. And you can see this book at my blog, and then it'll take you to Amazon. If a problem has a solution, there's no need to worry. If a problem has no solution, worry is of no use. And I really try to remember that. And when I forget it and I start, my husband reminds me of it. Judy Porterfield, good morning from Michigan, Casey. I totally feel you on the anxiety. And even though now my anxiety does not lead me to eat foods that don't serve me, some of you may not quite be there yet. I am living proof that it can happen, that you can detach food from feelings. If I can do this, you can do this, I promise. Judy Tucker, good morning from Hopkinton, Iowa. In Kekala, Utah. Is Casey on and I'm not seeing her? Okay, can everyone else see me? I think it's just you. I went on vacation and was staying with friends at hotels, went off keto for the week and gained 2.5 kilograms, back on track, so I hope to start losing again. Colleen Sproul writes, I borrowed Mel Robbins' mantra. What if it all works out? That's a good one. What if the amazing happens and everything works out? Deborah Barnes, see ya. Okay, so maybe you want to refresh your screen and come back if you can't see me. I can see and hear you. Candace V, good morning, Casey. Good morning, Candace. Deb Herold, I can see and hear you. Thank you. I see you. I can see and hear you, writes Donna D. So does anyone, this is a support group meeting. I mean, this is the way I'm kind of framing it. I mean, that's kind of why I want to be of use. And I have a platform and I want to be of use. If anyone is struggling and you want to, okay, good. Oh, I reloaded. Hi. If you don't want to share, that's fine. I mean, even in physical in-person support group meetings, a lot of people just, they're not going to speak. They're not going to raise their hand. They're hoping someone else will ask the question or bring up the topic. I understand that very much. But if you want to share, please do. I do want to remind people that I have a private support group on patreon.com where, depending on your pledge level, you get 20 pre-recorded videos of me every weekday morning. Morning snippets, and then up from there, a handful of patron-only live streams on Crowdcasting, up from there, one-on-one with me. So thank you for all that support. But pretty much if you can just subscribe, thumbs up, and hit the notification. Oh, by the way, the notification thing, I just had to do this on my stuff for channels that I follow. You can have the notifications turned on because I've heard from many people I don't get notifications. You can turn them on YouTube, but you need to go to your device or your computer and tell the device to allow for notifications from YouTube because mine were turned off. So I was not getting notifications. Deb Harrell, I know you don't want to show what you eat in a day, but I sure appreciated your meal videos when I was new to keto. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And they're still there. I just posted one, by the way. It wasn't a what we eat in a day. It was a shrimp and spinach salad, mostly made up of it was like a 6-minute video or something. And yes, Deb is correct. Why don't I share what I eat every day? Because I realized that we should eat based on what our body is telling us, our hunger level. And that can change person to person, certainly. It can change day to day. I don't want anyone to think that they should eat what I'm eating. And by the way, my fitness pal always thought I was going to be dead by sunrise because my fitness pal thought I wasn't eating enough. When I used to log, I stopped a long time ago logging my food. And here's the thing. Please be aware that just because a chart or an app or a published article says that the average human man, adult man, should consume 2,500 calories a day, and the average adult woman should consume 2,000 a day, or something like that, whatever it is. Well, for one thing, how can that be? We are all too different. And if I eat 2,000 calories a day, I'd be right back where I was when I started, even though it was all keto food. It's too many calories for me. I don't require that many calories. Why? I'm a bit of a runt. Stage of life, body composition, because I don't require it. Because I'm an efficient fat burner. So there we go. Judy Porterfield writes, I agree, Deb. Casey, your recipes of food you eat definitely inspire me. I watch your old videos to get re-inspired. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, you have no idea how much I appreciate it. Viewership, and this is just me being, it's not that important. But over the last 2 or 3 weeks, the viewership of my channel has plummeted. And I don't understand it. I've reached out to YouTube. Maybe people are just bored with me. I get that. But it's like almost like something like someone flipped a switch inside YouTube. Judy Porterfield writes, I agree, but it gives you something to try and somehow inspires me. Well, I appreciate it. And some people just like to look at food videos. I mean, they find it soothing. Hashtag my friend Jen. She just says she likes watching the videos. And she says my voice is very soothing to her, which is hysterical. My voice has the opposite effect on everyone in my family of choice. Judy writes, never bored with you. Thank you. So is everyone having a great time? Because no one is reaching, saying, oh, I had this happen. The food is the easy part. I mean, figuring out the food. It's fatty sources of protein, non-starchy vegetables, and full-fat dairy in limited amounts. And then the challenging part is don't eat if you're not hungry. But then there are the social things. There is the habitual thing. There is reverting to form when you've gone through some kind of event. And some people just, it's like, have you guys ever had a dream where you're eating food that you haven't eaten in the dream? And in the dream it's like, oh my gosh, why am I eating this giant soft pretzel? I'm going to throw it on the ground. And in the dream you throw it on the ground. It's like, it was been an accident. The pretzel just leapt into my hands and then into my mouth. Sometimes I think it feels like that in real life, not in the dream. Just, I didn't mean to eat the cheesecake. I just ate the cheesecake. So, or family pressure, workmate pressure from a partner. There are some relationships that when you start feeling better about yourself and getting healthy and looking great, it reveals kinks in the relationship. And I don't have to tell you why. You know why. So there's all kinds of pressure, and that's where the support piece comes in. Kala, Utah. Yep, I enjoy your voice and personality. And I got boiling eggs down. So I can perfectly hard cook an egg. I don't need any appliances, and I don't need to watch any more videos about how to hard cook an egg. And we have fresh eggs. We have chickens. So it can be challenging to boil an egg that's easy to peel when they're so fresh because the eggs have a bloom on it and you have to boil them for longer and all that stuff. But you have a good memory. Heidi Crane, I have heard if we don't get enough protein / undereat, it affects our muscle mass and metabolism. This whole protein thing, again, I think this is a situation of some people talk about it because they want to sell you something, namely a protein powder. But Dr. Stephen Phinney, whom Dr. Westman refers to as, like the E.F. Hutton of the ketosphere, when asked how much protein should someone eat, he said, I would know more. I could not tell somebody how much protein they should eat unless they were my twin or my clone. He says, and I think he said he's not even sure how much he eats. Protein is essential, yes. So is fat. the amino acids that are in fat and protein are essential. We must consume them by mouth to get those amino acids, which are required for cell health. Carbohydrate is not essential. What we get from carbohydrate, glucose, our bodies can generate on its own, gluconeogenesis. But I always start with protein when I'm eating. Now, what builds muscle is working out. There's something, eat a bunch of protein and you'll build up muscle. No, muscle is built by stressing it, by working out. I don't know how many grams or ounces of protein I eat in a day. I've never measured it. Not since I've been doing this. So I think the jury's out on whether, okay, at some point in life you must have more, a 60-year-old woman needs more protein than a 60-year-old man. There's all kinds of things like that. Just start with fatty sources of protein when you're hungry and stop when you've had enough. Protein is very satiating. As a matter of fact, overeating protein can make me feel kind of gross. Colleen Sproul writes, I like it too. You come at it without talking about macros, protein shakes, etc. I cook for the three of us, and from time to time, I need and appreciate some inspiration. Thank you, Colleen. And Candace V, I have been very consistent since August 1st, and I continue to stay 20 carbs or fewer, so I'm stronger through the holidays. The holidays are coming. We're just kicking off silly season in regards to food. Woo! Judy Porter, now Jell's mommy was here. I don't know if she's still here. Jell's mommy up in the UP of Michigan, they lay in hundreds, and I mean like 600, 900 full-size candy bars for the trick-or-treaters. They call it window insurance. Okay. Judy Porterfield writes, I had a very rough week last week, emotionally, and it was a struggle, but I made it through without eating off plan. Things are getting better since last night, though. You keep me on track, Casey. Well, sorry you had a rough week. I'm glad things are getting better. And a rough week can mean you've had a knockdown drag out with your spouse. It can mean that the car broke down and there's just no money to fix it. It can mean that you got a crappy boss. It can be that you have a thankless child. It runs the gamut. And I'm so glad that you stuck through it, Judy, because I'm going to guess that whatever was going on, food would not have fixed it. If hunger's not the problem, food is not the solution. Colleen Sproul writes, sending hugs to you, Judy and Raquel Luce. Recently, I was having a small bite here and there, but slowly I felt the brain fog and sluggishness coming back. I got back to eating what is normal eating for me. It can creep in. A little bit here, a little bit there. One won't hurt. One becomes two. Two becomes the entire package. So good for you for getting back and recognizing it. Candace V writes, my husband is always correcting me because I say less instead of fewer. Thanks for catching it. Sorry. Judy Porterfield, yes, if hunger is not the problem, food is not the solution. Amen. It's the truth. And it sounds like such a simple concept. And if we have to ask ourselves if we're hungry, we've answered the question. Food is in Western culture anyway, in rich cultures where we have plenty of food as a rule, and we've grown up since before we were making decisions about what we eat, being told what to eat, when to eat, clear your plate. You'd be told to clear your plate when you were not the one that put the food on the plate. There's too much food. Finish. Oh dear. So we have to unpeel a lot of our, again, habits. And if we created a habit, we can replace it with another one. And That's the way I try to look at it. I do try to be better every day on different things than I was yesterday. Don't always make it. But I do have a very elaborate habit tracker spreadsheet. Lots of with conditional formatting all throughout it. Candace B, don't apologize. I really did appreciate being reminded. Our daughter growing up, I would just correct our kids' grammar. And, being a little bit rebellious at one point. Mom, please, come on. You know what I was saying. Yes, but you can say it correctly. Oh, well, she did work as a copy editor when she graduated from college, correcting other people's grammar and making sure that the facts were straight. Heidi Crane, sometimes deciding whether I'm actually hungry or not is sketchy. Now, I will say for me, there's a difference between when I was a sugar burner and my brain saying, get me some more glucose, and a fat burner. When around Go Keto with Casey, we say push the peckishness. So right now I'm peckish. I've not had any solid food today. I will have something in a little bit. I don't know. Peckishness is not an unpleasant sensation for me, but I push it until it's like ding, ding, ding. Okay, now need to eat. Charlene Johnson, good morning, Casey. I watch all your videos. Thank you, but I rarely comment. Thank you for what you do. Well, thank you, Charlene. I appreciate it. And Judy Porterfield, Heidi, me too. Then sometimes I forget to eat. I remember the first time that happened to me. It was amazing. Judy Tucker, Casey, I think you explaining how things change throughout this way of eating helps us understand better how it works. Well, thank you. And Judy Tucker knows of what she speaks. She's lost over 150 pounds. Amazeballs, I tell you. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you so much. Please do subscribe. I don't like asking for that, but something weird is going on, and it doesn't cost anything, and it makes me feel better. Subscribe, notification icon, thumbs up or thumbs down. Judy Porterfield, I agree 100%. Judy Tucker, and hello. And Heidi Crane, LOL. Judy, me too. Okay, friends. Keep your carbs 20 grams or fewer. Total carbs, not net carbs. If it's not on page 4, link below. Don't eat it. Don't eat if you're not hungry. Stop eating when you've had enough. Be patient and persevere. And thank you so much for allowing me to be part of your day. I hope to see you again.